We're about to lose one. Get the intruder.
Copy. We're almost there.
Security breach.
Attacking the area.
Security breach.
Shit, I've got movement. Where? Everywhere. Contact!
Hey, what's happening, everybody? Welcome back. It's Thursday, so you know what that means. It means a little more Spies versus Mercs multiplayer action, and it is Classic Week. It is SvM Classic in the rotation this time around. We're heading to the Lebanese hospital, and I'll tell y'all, I barely got this hack, or sorry, I barely got this capture. I barely got this capture in time. I was a little late on the trigger getting it started. We missed the Lebanese hospital title screen, the loading screen altogether. But I'm glad I got it in here. As you can see, I'm quite pleased because it made it up to the channel, yes. So obviously this shaped up to be a pretty good round. As we sit, we have, I don't know. It's nice that Artemin is sitting here listening. Yes, as I type in this message to him. Dude! Stop running around like a fool, please. You know, these crawl spaces are loud enough. You tack on the fact that in Classic, every Merc has that motion tracking, and if you move through here too quickly, whether they're tracking you through sound or motion tracking or both, you know, they stand a good chance of being able to anticipate which sector you're going to arrive in. You know, so I figure at that point, and even after the message, he listened to my words of wisdom. And I don't know about my words of wisdom, certainly my words of warning. He sat there and listened and then ran up my six anyway, you know. Maybe he doesn't speak English. I don't know. But anyway, whatever. Or maybe he was just trying to be spiteful. Eventually, I had to cut him loose. And I head off this way, and I actually stall out here as I'm just playing it a little cautiously. I'm hearing a lot of ruckus. You hear the footsteps, the Merc boots, you know, running by underfoot. And of course, here comes Artemin. And just as I thought, you know, I was starting to think maybe I had an opening to make a move towards the C sector. Here comes Artemin. In here, causing a big disturbance, rushing on in, dropping an EMP grenade, you know. And I'm forced to redirect yet again, you know. And I know y'all may be thinking, Hurts, you're playing it way too slowly here, sir. Playing it way too cautiously. Well, I don't know. Sometimes a little patience, a little thoughtfulness, you know. Playing things, the deliberate pace can pay off, you know, Anyway, I scope out the B sector, I drop the EMP grenade, I kill the mine that was down there, and I figure at the very least that is going to, well, it's going to take out the mine, a little bit more, at the very most, I suppose it may alert a Merc to a spy presence in the B sector and have them clear out of one of these distant sectors, and perhaps I've opened up an opportunity for myself to push here into C, yes, which is what I've done now. Now, this had been a really long session for me. I'd been in here for hours and hours, well, across this session, you know, and you may be thinking, Hurts, you're playing it way too cautiously, but I had been encountering several players across that session, you know, Mercs that like to switch off their flashlights, go crouched and hide in a dark corner somewhere and camp out those terminals. And I have no problems with guys wanting to play like that. I think it's spectacular, you know. But I'd been encountering quite a bit of that, and I think that showed in how I was playing this here. You know, I was really taking my time with it, and it's paying off now as I do pick up this hack on C. I'm feeling like I'm in a pretty good position here. I've played against Gunnut enough now. He knows that I like to post up at the opposite end of this room to start. You know, often I'll hide around that door rather than this one. And I was expecting him, you know, perhaps catching Gunnut off guard there. No, this time around it was Halo Cell, as I do a little slicing and dicing on him. And of course, here comes Artemin, full speed ahead into the sector, and he's playing a spectacular. That man can play a distraction like no other, as he draws a little fire from the Gunnut, gets him tracking him, and it allows Gunnut, you know, I almost got him to this sounds awful. He almost busted a nut all over me there, but but I managed to get away to safety. And that was of my own doing, too, you know, because of the way I pushed in on him while he was trying to dish a grenade Artemin's way. Anyway, the respawn has occurred. I've repositioned, which I always think is a good decision, and amidst a cloud of smoke and a whirlwind of slice and dice fury, I put them both down. I stole their souls and sent them to the next life. And soulless, yes, I sent them to the next life without their souls. Anyway, this hack is going deep now. We've crossed the 90% mark. I reposition one more time after killing the cameras. Always a smart play, you know. Blacklist mode or classic mode. You know, once you've, especially in classic mode, it's because it's 2-on-2, you know, and you don't have that large perimeter, or sorry, that big wall of spies to help you defend your own ass. You have to do things yourself. So once you've put down a couple of guys, giving your position away, you have to reposition, you know. You have to get out of there, and certainly take out the cameras so they're not tracking you after you killed them. Anyway, I grabbed the intel, but I can't quite escape safely. As kind of a poor choice, I think, in how I played that. I thought I had gotten the tase there at the end, right before I fell, but I guess not, since I did get pumped full of lead. Anyway, it took a little while to get that first, you know, to get that icebreaker, right? As we're at about the 5-minute mark of this, well, this spy round. And, but it came in. It came in successfully. So sometimes people, a little patience, a little caution can pay off. And I make pretty quick work of getting to the A sector. You know, I figure they may have... I was expecting them to still be back on C, even though I died, you know. Still be stuck in kind of the CB limbo back there. I thought I could make a mad dash for the A sector and get this hack going, and that's what I've done. As we've crossed the 25% mark, 1/4 complete, and Artemin falls. I kind of liked the way he was posted up over there, watching that one doorway, but unfortunately the gun nut getting the better of him, tracking him down. Of course, we do see a little flashlight action coming through the doorway, followed up by a man wielding the flashlight, gun nut, and a little slicing and dicing on him. Now, I was kind of tracking his man, Halo Cell. I thought I was playing this pretty nicely. Unfortunately for me, the man without his flashlight on came, you know, I thought he was going up that ramp to do that upper level back hallway sweep. And I thought I was perfectly safe there, but for about 10 seconds, at least until the gun nut moved back into the area, coming up my 6, you know. But Halo Cell played it really nicely there. Just very quietly, very stealthily came right back down that ramp, and he ended up in my line of sight. Or more importantly, I ended up in his. And he caught me seriously napping. I had been guzzling the NyQuil, yes, what can I say? And and he put me down. They sent me packing, looking for a little revenge, a little redemption perhaps, for what I had done to them in the C sector. And they shut that hack down before it could really get deep, you know. So we're sitting at about, I think we're probably sitting, I didn't quite see the final number on that intel, but I think we're probably sitting at about 1.5 terminals, you know. So that's always decent. You know, 1.5 is certainly worth, can certainly make their job a little more difficult. Now, we see the gun nut, he gets tased. You know what I did? I've seen him bust a nut so many times. You know, if you're unfamiliar with the terminology, the bust a nut, which I tacked onto this, I think, last video that released, where he likes to hold a kamikaze grenade when he feels like his neck's getting sliced, and he'll just take you with him, you know. It's like his last fuck you, you know. And so that's bust a nut. That's the live grenade, the kamikaze grenade in his hand. I heard it. We had the sights, we had the sounds. Where was the bust a nut? I don't know. Perhaps it had been Halo Cell one level down with the grenade. I really don't know what happened there. But we did hear that grenade cooking, and it looked like Gunnut was holding a grenade. Maybe Gunnut busted a nut by proxy. I don't know. And it was Halo Cell. Maybe Gunnut, you know, he likes to fake busting nuts. I don't know. I don't know what Gunnut does in his spare time. No. Sorry, Nut. But anyway, regardless, his fake bust nut tactic did work, as he forced me away from the man, and I should have known better, because when you tase a man with a live grenade, he dies instantly. It blows up in his face, you know. But I second-guessed myself simply because I've been in that scenario with the gun nut countless times before, with him trying to bust a nut all over the place, and me trying to keep it all off of me. Yes. Anyway, so let's move on, and things have stalled up ever so slightly here again, as we've passed the 2-minute warning with all that rambling. And again, I'm quite pleased with the amount of intel we have, but if we could get one more terminal, a full second, 100%, it would make my day. And I'm just taking my time. We're waiting for the right time to strike. And even Artemin has slowed things down. You know, perhaps he had simply, perhaps my performance, he's finally, you know, decided to listen to my words of warning now. He thought, maybe this man, Whitehurst Games, is someone worth listening to, you know. And anyway, it worked out beautifully. Maybe he was just feeling the pressure coming down the final stretch. Maybe he thought, you know what, let's try and do this, you know. And we do, as we managed to get the gun nut, like a nice little death from above, get a lucky tase, a nice tase on Halo Cell. Sometimes it's luck with me, though, you know. I have some rounds where I'm just missing everything. I think we all have that, don't we? Yeah, even the great players, you know. So yeah, I've had rounds in this session where I was just sucking it up seriously with that stun crossbow. But then you have those rounds like this one where you're hitting the mark, and it's really paying off. Now look at this on the respawn. One guy coming in high with the grenade in hand. I was expecting that to be the gun nut, in fact, but no, the gun nut coming in low. Perhaps they've been tracking me on camera. They really seemed to know where I was there. Of course. Experienced mercs will have a tendency to check this corner. It is a likely location for the hacker to post up. Really well concealed over there. Can be tough to get to. Some great shadows. They were both pushing in, top and bottom. And just a little bit of luck that I was managed to drop down in time to get the jump on the gun nut. And beautifully, Artemin coming through these dying seconds of the game manages to shut down Halo Cell and then catches a respawning gun nut as well. So now it's one-on-one. We're at about the 75% mark of this hack, and we're at opposite ends, so I'm feeling pretty good. This could go deep. By the time Gun Nut gets back in here, Artemin will be arriving as well. And, goddamn, just kind of tucked away, just waiting. And hopefully they're still looking for me over in that dark corner. It looks like it. You can see there's a Merc over there. Looks like VX Gas had gone down in the corner, and Artemin arrives on the scene, guarding the top of the stairs, which is certainly good. A last-ditch effort with that grenade almost takes me off my perch, but we managed to bring it in, So a great little round there, a great little wrap on it, a couple of moments of, stalling out, slowing things down, really playing cautiously. I had my differences with Artemin at the start, and by the end of it, he was on the same page as me, so that was wonderful. 2 hacks for myself, 8 and 3, a great way to start this round. 2 terminals brought in, and as we slap on the Merc gear, grab our guns, and go out on the hunt. Go out on the hunt for some filthy hacking spies. Yeah.
Force is authorized.
Alright.
Time to go to work, boys.
So a quick little VX, I think it was a VX Gas. Yeah, it was. VX Gas, just trying to cut things off. Force the spies, if they had any thought of going towards A through that crawl space, they would think again. They would think again. And it gives me time to move in to the B sector. And I don't think it's long before they pick up a hack here. They played it, quite wisely when you, with the Mercs spawning in the A sector. Somebody made a quick beeline. I think probably both of them made a quick beeline for the C sector. Certainly good to run as a pair when it's only 2-on-2. And of course, I have played against Gun Nut enough. I was really expecting him in that room. I was expecting some kind of a wide perimeter, an early assault from one of whoever the defender was going to be. I wasn't expecting it necessarily to be Halo Cell, but I was expecting something like that from Gun Nut because he likes to play like that, So it was good. I was watching my teammates back, kept Artemin, kept myself alive as we moved into the sector. But Gun Nut is tucked away nicely somewhere. Goddamn, sir, where are you? Show yourself. And we make a sweep. Now I never went through the morgue, the morgue side of the room where all the bodies are. So that was Artemin that moved through there, and of course, I made quick work of that. I don't know what that is. Some toxic waste or something. I don't know. Oh, and I get flashed, and I'm getting swarmed, and a beautiful kind of redirection. I don't know if you all noticed that. I was kind of tracking the spy. It is Gun Nut. He's tucked away in here somewhere. But I was also aware that Halo Cell had moved in the area, had done a little slicing and dicing on my teammate, and made a quick 90-degree correction while I was blinded and tracked him down, and finally did find the Gun Nut. Really well concealed back there, really tucked away into the shadows, had done a little bit of repositioning, was playing it kind of nicely. I think the flashbang probably came from him as well. He'd been tasing me, he'd been giving me headaches, he'd been giving me problems. The hair on the back of my neck had been standing up, is now, it's all frizzled from all these tases I had suffered. And but I shut him down. I shut him down to that 80%. And immediately, somebody back to life picks up this hack, opposite end of the map. I get a few mines down, I wish I felt like I could go back and grab, restock yet again on that resupply point. But I figure, I've got a lot of ground to make up here. I don't want to give up a terminal just like that, And Artemin, of course, is right by my side. So we need to get over there. I have no time to go and refill my mines at this point. And I catch Gun Nut, coming in, looking, and again, that's an instance, and I fall victim to it as well, where you're the spy in this game. Of course, all the Mercs, we've all got the motion tracking, in Classic. And again, I fall victim. I fall prey to this exact same thing, where you feel like you can maybe make the run. You get in behind them. You want to cut off the assault before it can move into the sector and fuck with your spy teammate hacker, you know. And Gunnut fell. Well, he fell victim to that, giving himself away a little prematurely there on kind of a mad dash. And yet again, coming in looking to get my back, looking to get my neck, looking to do a little slicing and dicing. And I shut him down. And I have a little one-on-one time here with the Halo cell as I go hunting for his ass. Now, at this point, I'm pretty confident. I'm hearing a little bit of noise. Yeah, and I hear him. I heard the footsteps. I dropped the VX gas. I figure he's right below me in that rear hallway. Now, I don't know what happened to him between now and then, but I go ducking in here. The smoke grenade gets dropped, and he's disappeared. So, obviously, maybe the VX gas cloud... I never heard any coughing. So maybe the VX gas cloud had depleted enough that he was able free passage through there once I finally made it down onto that lower level. And of course, I don't know where the hell Gunman was coming from. He was coming out of the main doors, the front lobby. That's what it looked like anyway. So they managed to bring this in, you know, at about the exact same time when we brought in our first terminal. So some parallels here in the gameplay. They have a little bit more time. And so it's 2-on-1, so we're still in hot water at this point. These filthy spies. Anyway, they pick up this hack pretty quickly here on C. They're certainly a little bit more active than I was early on in this game when we were donning the spy gear. And luckily, I survived that. Great play there by Artemin, watching my back. I was getting flashbanged. Tases were coming my way, being shot over my shoulder. And I figured once I got flashed, I just had to make a mad dash and keep running forward. Try and keep the spy off my back long enough for something like that. Something like that to happen with Artemin coming in and putting him down, you know. So I avoid the sticky cam. Unfortunately, I was looking at the wrong hidey hole. As I was looking at the distant corner desk, and he was right there, center of the room, smack dab center. And he stuck his blade smack dab center of my chest, my face, my neck, something like that. And then he puts my teammate but beautifully. I don't know if y'all saw that. I wish I'd been paying better attention to the action rather than rambling. But I got him beyond the grave with that old mine I had dropped in there. Yes. So that worked out pretty nicely. I was quite pleased with that. Of course, Gunnut does manage to come back in and pick this hack up. He had a window of opportunity. He was free and clear to do what he pleased at that point. We did slow the hack down ever so slightly. That could come back and pay off for us, you know, as we hunt down the nut at this point in time. The tasers are now coming in. He gets the slice and dice. At the very least there, I drew him out. And nothing I could do. Once I was tased, he pushed forward. Perhaps a little unwisely, you know, because, well, we were stacked up. Those are the instances where you want to be stacked up as the Mercs, you know. Once that hack's running, somebody there watching your back, right? And Artemin getting the job done. Me acting as the bait, the lure. And Artemin acting as the hook. Yes. And he catches the gun nut. Anyway, the time's still ticking away. We managed to get ourselves out of a pot of hot water with that one. As the terminal is shut down. I think they got deep there, too. I think they were like 75-80%. Some nice anticipation here on Gunnut's passage through the opening in the ceiling. I get the grenade. I think I killed him with the nade. Yeah, I did. I got a few shots his way as well. So did a little bit of damage with the gun. The grenade had been cooked, had been prepped, and had been served, yes. And Gunnut didn't stand a chance up there in those tight quarters. Alright, so Artemin does manage, again, Gunnut coming in, looking to get Artemin's back. I heard the tase, I heard the stun crossbow fire off, but Artemin, I guess, had got one last bullet Gunnut's way before getting put down. Of course, Halo Cell making a mad dash for the C sector. Gets the flashbang. That was, as soon as I saw that, I was like, uh-oh, this is not going to go well. But he blinds me. I take a few steps back wisely, and Halo Cell pushes forward. A nice clean tase, you know. So we're seeing, whereas we were seeing some good spy gameplay on my end when the action was intense, and we're seeing it coming back, you know, my way this time around. And it really does go to show you that, you know, the spies, they can gain the upper hand just like that. They may be non-lethal weapons, but you get hit by that stun crossbow at the right range, and goddamn, you're as good as dead at that point, you know, because there's nothing I can do. Halo Cell, a great tase, a great slice and dice to follow it up. And the hack is picked up here as I put down Gunnut in the B sector. Hanging around a little bit too long. Catch him square in the forehead. And then catch Halo Cell before you get a new tase on me. And slice and dice yet again. So, 2-minute warning approaches, and we have shut down this hack successfully. Nobody's getting in here at this point, and that's just the icing on the cake right there as I catch a gun nut zipping in. You know, sometimes when you make that risk, you know, looking to get into the sector quickly, so you can try and pick up that hack before the firewalls reestablish. Well, you know, no risk, or well, what is the saying I'm trying to spit out? I don't know. I don't think it actually works, but there was certainly big risk coming down that that zip line, and it didn't pay off for him, you know. And this time he was ready. He was ready at the crawl space, looking to do some tasing, possibly some slicing and dicing to follow that up. But no, I shut you down, sir. I shut you down. So here we go. About a minute left. We're looking good. It's 2 terminals to about 175%. And I think we're going to hold it out. Yes. I'm feeling good. Now, right here, I'm not liking the way Arteman's playing this. Again, I don't know if I made mention of it, but, well, I have in previous videos. I think pre-hack, you never want to be stacked up as the Mercs, especially when it's down to 2 terminals, and when you only have a 1-terminal lead. You know, you don't want to give them just free reign on one sector. So I was running back and forth trying to counter Arteman's movements, and I get caught up there yet again. A tase by Halo Cell, and he does a little slicing and dicing, carves out my heart, devours it, yes. And I don't know, I think he probably, did he pick up the hack here? We'll have to wait and see. I think he probably did. It looks like a gun that's on defensive, on the defensive end of things here. Flashbang comes my way, and the tase follows it up, and I'm sent packing yet again. The gun nut showing some great skills there as the spy, wielding the stun crossbow, wielding the blade, wielding the gadgets. As I got flashed, I got tased, I got stuck, and I got sent to the afterlife to watch what's going on. And of course, meanwhile, Arteman had been suffering a similar fate. So now we're stacked up. Arteman does manage to shut down the defender. Gun nut is sent packing, and we're moving in here. And this hack is deep. You know, they've crossed the 50% mark. We could be playing for a draw here. We're in overtime, and there is a massive amount of smoke over here, kind of giving his position away, maybe a little bit prematurely. But you know what? You got to respect him for just kind of trying to blind us, trying to smoke us out of this room, trying to keep us out of here. Arteman tossing a ton of VX back there, and I figure I'll just move in yet again, maybe be able to catch him. At the very least, you know, Arteman's aware of the hacker's presence. We got to try and make a move before Gunnut gets in here. And so I moved in, probably a little hastily. It cost me my throat, it cost me my neck, my life. But Arteman was there to pick up the slack just as the smoke cloud was subsiding. And there we go. We managed to hold it off. A real pressure cooker there at the end, you know. 200% to 178. A great round. Great effort there by all 4 players, by all 4 of us, you know. And some good competition, you know. I had a good time with that. So, let's take a look at a few names and numbers. Myself, 2 hacks, 3 defense, 20 and 9 Arteman. Again, we had our differences to start, but he really, you know what, he saved it big time there on the Merc side of things. Got to give him, and coming down the final stretch on the Spy side, did some great work as well to keep that second hack alive in the B sector. 2 defense for him, 10 and 16. Halo Cell, and Gunnut's always a good competitor. I like playing against him. Halo Cell, you know, the name looks mildly familiar. I don't think I've played against him much. But he certainly, you know, he was certainly a foe out there. Great with the taser, great with the stun crossbow, and could close the gap pretty quickly once you were electrified. You know, he would stick you quickly. Anyway, 1 hack for him, 1 defense, 14 and 10, and the gun nut 11 and 20. With his busted nuts by proxy, fake busted nuts. I don't know what he was doing there, that one instance. Anyway, people, as always, it's a pleasure when you come over and watch my content. I'm glad you're enjoying it, you know, and I hope you enjoyed this one as well. I hope you'll thumb it. I hope you'll be back for more. But until then, remember why it hurts all. Later.